Yes, yes, yes. Just making sure all is well. Let's get this going here. It's a new day, it's a new approach to life, it's a new opportunity to say yes. and with this new opportunity comes an opportunity for us all to be new. So this is going to be a short broadcast as I'm doing two things. I think I'm doing about two things. One is testing a broadcast on this page. But before I go into all of that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Ade Anifowoshe. If you're brave, Anifowoshe. I am a healer, teacher, and a coach. My work, let me adjust this. My work is about transformation. I host the Being You podcast, and I used to host the Ade Show. So many of you watching already know me. I've been doing this for 20 years. Healing work, it is my passion. It is my reason for being. And those of you who followed me already, you know my work. But those of you who don't, you get to find out about my work. So two things I'm doing today. I'm actually testing this. I'm doing a test as well as making an announcement. So I actually want to make sure, excuse me, that the test is working, because there's no point doing what I'm doing and you can't hear me or you don't know I'm there. So what's this test? I normally do my yep, I see it here. I normally do my podcast. I do it live on my personal page. So I'm going to go to my page here. I normally do it on my personal page, but I'm moving to my podcast page. Well, there's a long reason why I hadn't done that before. Well, to tell you the truth, um, what is the truth? I thought this is the truth. I thought it's better to do it on my personal page. But I discovered not long ago that actually it's better to do it on my page. So I'm moving there. That's the first one. So I'm doing a sort of test here, as well as make an announcement. So my podcast is every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, and which is 6 p.m. UK time. And I have guests join me. I have my mentors join me. This past Tuesday, I had one of my mentors join me, Reverend Mary. I think the week before that, did I have? Yeah, I think I had Reverend Deborah L. Johnson. And if you don't know Reverend Deborah L. Johnson, we call her Rev D. You need to check her out, because the message she's teaching right now about race relations, about changing our minds and being part of the healing, being part of the solution. It's powerful. It's spiritual enough, and it's grounded in in applicable principles. Because sometimes we could experience spiritual truth, but not know how to integrate it, and which is part of what my announcement is about. I'm going to tell you in a minute. But I've had many guests. We've had many conversations. The podcast right now is on season 2, and season 2 is literally a whole new season. It's on fire. We've had conversations about unpacking white fragility, white privilege, because we are in a time of transformation. And I really believe that in this time of transformation, we're all being fine-tuned. I want to make sure, something's telling me, make sure that the sound is going up. See, I am my own producer right now. Okay, great. So we're good. We're in a time of transformation, and we're being fine-tuned. And if you ever seen a musician play live, they're always fine-tuning their instrument. Why? Because they wanted the instrument to sound the best. So the fine-tuning that we're going through individually and collectively maybe feel painful, but it is part of the process. And if and when we apply the spiritual truth, we actually find that the fine tuning is for greatness, it's for gladness, it's in a sense, when you apply the spiritual truth to the fine tuning of your life, whatever that looks like, whether it's a disease, whether it's you're fighting for justice, whether it's your relationship breaking down, whether it's financial issues, whether you're losing your home, whatever is happening, when you have the awareness of spiritual truth, first of all, it gives you a faithfulness. It gives you a focus. It reminds you to hold on. It reminds you that hope is a verb, that love is a verb. And as you integrate the spiritual principles with your process of fine tuning, you know, on the other end, you're going to sound good. Those of you, or maybe I'll say those of us who are old enough to remember what live instrument sounds like, I love that I can tell the difference. Like I may be watching something on YouTube and not really paying attention, but there is something about a live instrument that just touches the heart. You can just feel it. Now, I'm not judging synthesized or computerized music and things that are happening right now, but when something is alive, it makes you come alive. I remember I think an article I read about Anita Baker. So for the people in America, I'm going to do my best American accent. Anita Baker. I remember when I first, I almost said when I first arrived in America, but yeah, pretty much when I first arrived in America. I remember when I tell people and say Anita Baker, and they're like, "What? Excuse me, Anita Baker?" I'm like, the singer, the singer. And I go through some of her songs. Oh, Anita Baker. Yeah, Anita Baker. Yeah, you did. You do. So anytime I say her name, I'm always thinking about that. But anyway, how did I get to that point again? I do that often. I don't know how I got to that point. I'm going to work my way back. So whenever Anita Baker, I don't know. I lost it. So anyway, let me get back. It'll come back to me. I know it will. But so I know. I know. I knew it would come back. So I read an article about Anita Baker, and she was saying that it took her so long to release the next album, which is probably the last album she did, because she wanted to record it. She wanted to use live instruments, not computerized, nothing. And I appreciate that. And then sometimes that can take a long time, especially in the world that we live in nowadays. But we all need to be fine-tuned. And the fine-tuning, like I said before, can be painful. And most of the time it's painful. Well, it can be painful. And right now is a time of change. There are those people saying, what the hell is going on? Why is this happening? We're blaming political leaders and think if they're out of office, then things will be different. Don't fool yourself. The only difference, for example, here in the UK, Boris Johnson, he's a bit on the wild side too, a bit, maybe not so much a bit. He's kind of whatever. Trump, he's on the wild side, right? But we have this idea that if these people weren't running the country would be better. That's a mind trick. It's a mind fuck. If children were listening. Mind fuck. It's not true. The leaders of the leaders of countries, they represent the consciousness of the country. And the consciousness of the country, how do I say this? They represent the consciousness of a country. And in America, if your prayer is, oh, Trump, you're praying that Trump doesn't win next election. Okay, great. And he doesn't win and you're excited. But guess what? There are people who agree, who believe in what he's teaching. They're still alive. The difference between those leaders, if they're not in power, is the difference between watching something on the news and suddenly they're no longer covering that story anymore. During the protest, there was a lot of coverage of the protest and less conversation about coronavirus. And then now some of you might believe that nobody's protesting anymore, that nothing is happening. But just because you're not seeing on the television doesn't mean it ain't happening. It is happening. Excuse me. It is happening. So the transformation, the tuning, the fine tuning that's happening, it requires us to get messy, to tell the truth about ourselves. And just because other people don't know it because you've become so great at hiding your mess doesn't mean you don't know it. So we run from change, we run from transformation because it's messy. It can be messy, it's hard, it's just whatever. Most of us prefer to live a filtered life. You know, we have social media now and the different filters you can use. So we want to filter our lives and present what looks good or what we think is presentable and try to hide what we think is messy or just ugly. But you know, our lives, your life, is a mixture of messiness, vulnerability, shame, guilt, groundedness, clarity, confidence, even making new choices. That's what makes us who we are. So even when we say, oh, I'm a positive person, well, if you're just positive, you're not getting a charge for life to move forward. Because in order to get a charge to be passionate and move forward, you need a charge. You need a negative charge. In order to even say you're a positive person, you're comparing and contrasting with negativity. Now, if you judge something as negative, then you don't want anything to do with it. But if you don't want anything to do with negativity, then you don't need to call yourself a positive person. Because in order to identify yourself as a positive person, you also recognize that there is a negative side to you. And wholeness and being you is about embracing all of it. And the more you can sit with your own shadow, the more you can sit with your own shame, your own guilt, your blame, your criticism, the more empowered you become. The more you welcome the shadow, the things that you don't like about yourself. It gives you a sort of groundedness. It opens your heart. So the announcement is, as I was saying earlier, I've been doing Being You since last year, I think. And now every Thursday, I'm presenting you, giving you, offering you, inviting you to sit in the hot seat of your life. You know, if you're ready to, hey, Sharonda, nice to see you. I'm looking over here because I got another screen over here. Maybe I do need to look in here too, though. Oh, there, if I look here, Sharonda is calling on everybody. That's what I like. Sharonda, where are you? I know you listen to my show every week and you check out Daily Thoughts that I write, but where in the world are you? I know you're in America. I think you are, but tell me where you are. But let me continue. I'm trying to wind it back because it just disappeared. But here's what I would say. Living a filtered life only makes your life more challenging. If you're willing to change, if you're willing to shift, you gotta admit to yourself the places where you need to tell the truth. You gotta admit to yourself where you're pretending that you're not scared, you're not afraid. It's the messiness. See, in the mess is the message. But if you run from the mess, you can't catch the message. So if you want to inspire people, you want to start a social media platform because you want to inspire people and you're trying to figure out how to do it. Well, you're actually closer to it. Be with your mess and let your mess inform you rather than argue for your limitations. So every Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, and that's 3 p.m. UK time, I'm going to be doing a segment called The Heart of the Matter. So you have an opportunity. I'm giving you an invitation. I'm offering your invitation a space to be on the hot seat, on the hot seat of your seat, hot seat of your life, to sit with me and let's go through the things that are hindering you. Even if you're nervous, if you don't like being vulnerable, because in your vulnerability is your power. So whatever you're concerned about, whatever is causing you anxiety, whatever is causing you to feel depressed, maybe you're just depressed and you don't even know what that is. Well, every Thursday you have an opportunity to join me and we'll do some healing work, coaching work, just to get you to the heart of the matter. Because the thing that causes you pain, they're really just indicators to the truth, the solution that wants to be revealed. Sometimes we focus on what's causing us pain. We focus on the person that's causing us pain. We may be judgmental. We may blame them for the way that our life is unfolding. But if we focus on the pain and ask, what is this pain trying to show me? And if you think of pain, PAIN, you think of it as an acronym for pay attention inward now. Pay attention inward now. So when you are feeling pain, whether it's caused by somebody else or something else, whatever it is, whether it's caused by you, it is an invitation to pay attention inwards now. And just like you can set your own test, you can't test your own self. Because how can you test yourself? In order to test yourself on what you know or don't know, you have to know some things that you didn't know before. But when you're in pain, there's some things you don't know. There are things you don't know you don't know. So you need somebody else who can see what is happening, who can read between the lines, who can feel between the lines, who can tap into your spirit, to what your soul is saying, because you're so close to it, you don't see it. You're so close to it, you don't see it. And you say the reason you're experiencing what you're experiencing is because of what your mother did, what your father did, what your auntie did, what your uncle did, something that happened from childhood. There's nothing that happened to us that is not part of the plan. I don't care how horrible you say it is. I get that it's traumatic, but everything that happened and everything that is happening right now is happening to help you reveal the best in you. When you face the mess, you get the message. When you get the message, you could be a messenger of truth. So rather than look for other people to do things that your soul is asking you to do, you step up and show up. Thank you, Sharonda. Nice to see you. Yes, she said, nice to see you as well. On-time message. It is time. It is time. We're being fine-tuned. I am being fine-tuned. You know, all of us, whether we're doing healing work, whether we have our own business, whether we're working for somebody or with somebody, we are all being fine-tuned. And we can no longer go back to who we used to be, how it used to be. We don't even know what the future looks like. But what I know is the future is going to be exactly what you create it to be. It's going to be exactly what you create it to be. And if you don't believe that, well, you have an invitation. 30 minutes with me on the heart of the matter every Thursday. So how do you get involved? On this page, this my what is this page called? Facebook page, the Being You page. You can send me a message through there, or you can go to my website, lifecoachade.com. lifecoachade.com. Go in there, send me a message. I don't even need to know what you're dealing with beforehand. That's even better. So when you reach out to me, don't tell me what you're dealing with. Just tell me that you want to be a part of the heart of the matter on Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. UK time, or BST, British Summer Time, until it becomes GMT. Tell me your name, contact details, phone numbers. Just email that to me or inbox me. And or if you're if you're on Instagram, you can do the same thing. Direct message me, DM me, slide into my DMs, but don't come with whatever. I'll clean you up. Come with whatever you want to come with. Okay, stop. Yeah, just slide into my DMs. Let me know that yes, you accept the invitation. What you're no, don't tell me what you're dealing with. I forgot. Don't tell me what you're dealing with. I don't need to know. I want to discover it with you at the same time. Now, if you let me see. This is really for people who are ready to shift and change. Now, even though I don't want to know what you're dealing with in advance, I am going to have a pre-interview, if you will, just kind of checking with you, kind of see, if you're right for the broadcast. And then we'll go from there. And then when you join me on Thursday, we'll let it rip. You tell me what you're dealing with. You never know. We might just do some toning. I might even get my sound therapist, start with the drum, healing work, energy alignment, just to shift you, to fine tune you so you can sound alive. That's the call. That is the call. And once again, lifecoachade.com, lifecoachade.com is my website, or you can send a message through Facebook page, the Being You podcast page, send a message inbox there, or on Instagram, Being You podcast. You can find me on there too. Send a direct message and I will reach out to you. So I need your number, your email address, so we can talk maybe for about 10, 15 minutes, just to check some things out. But you don't have to, I refuse to even have the conversation about the specifics, because what we are both going to jump into is to jump into the moment when we're alive, so that we may come alive, that we tune into the moment and hear exactly what is needed in that moment. So it's time to release this conversation. Let me just check and on YouTube if there's anything I need to address. For those of you who want to find me on YouTube, it is the channel is Life Conversations Media. Life Conversations Media. You can find me there. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. And even if you're listening to the archive, you listen to this later, you listen to this a week later, every Thursday, not Tuesday. I do another show every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time. That's where we have conversations. I am in conversations with other teachers, healers, thought leaders, people who are making a difference, social justice activists. Because this whole thing about being you, once again, it can be messy. And it's a journey back to yourself. There is nothing that we want, that we need, that we desire, that we don't already have. When you say, I'm looking for my purpose, I don't know what my purpose is, it's already in here. It's already in your awareness. It's in the part of you that's beyond your physical self. So my work is to help you uncover and discover so you can recover the truth about you. We all have the answers. I saw something, I laughed earlier because I didn't want to say this, but I feel like it's on point to say. We need to change and transform from a society that is looking to other people to bring about the change that we know and believe is needed. So I saw a post of Michelle Obama, and she's starting a new podcast. And she talks about the things that she's going to be talking about. And if you haven't read her book, Becoming, pick it up. It will change you. If there's ever a time for a message like that, it is now. I know the impact it had on me and the influence it even had on me on the book that I'm writing, because I'm in a process of becoming, and a process of becoming is a daily thing. Anyway, on the post, somebody wrote, yes, and we want you to run for president, which was, I found it very funny. But, the political institution as it is right now, it's not designed for people to be who they really are. First of all, as a politician, for the most part, you are running and representing what your people want you to represent to the world. So if your people want you, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. So whatever your people want you to represent is what you have to stand for, or else you're no use to them. So can you imagine if Michelle Obama runs for president, and let's just imagine that she does win. You know how constricted, restrained she will be? She can't be free. And I'm so glad she ain't trying to even do that. I know. No, I stick with what I just said. That's not what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to inspire you. Maybe you're the one to run for political office. So it's time to stop looking for people to do what we know needs to be done. And maybe it's us that needs to do it. It's time to release this conversation. And I thank you all for being here. So again, on Tuesday, I have a show, which is 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time. I'm in conversation with others, with leaders and teachers, spiritual teachers, people who are making a difference. This Tuesday, I might be going solo. I'm not sure yet. On Thursdays, that's when you get to sit with me. When we get to have a conversation about what you're dealing with, whether it's finances, relationship, job, illness. You have the opportunity to experience a shift. So we do energy alignment, coaching, the essence of my work, and I said this at the beginning, is transformation. So to support you in transforming how you're seeing yourself, how you're seeing your life, and maybe how you're judging your life, and to even use the judgment to lift you up. Because we only judge what we can't be with. So whatever you're judging about yourself, you can't be with it. But when you can make space in your heart to be with what you can't be with in the past, you will be transformed. You will be transformed. Every Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. UK. I think you got that by now. I'm going to have some information on my website. It's not on there yet. And I'm also going to have something. And to tell you the truth, this idea all happened in the last 24 hours. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready. I need to plan it out. But Spirit kept saying, go do it now. Go do it now. Go do it now. And even my own stories about why I don't want to do it. It's like, go do it now. Go do it now. It's showtime. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I thank God for you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for saying yes. Join me every Thursday. Sit with me. And we can get to the heart of the matter of your life. So you can really, really be the change you want to see. Peace and blessings. See you on Tuesday for a conversation on being you. And then on Thursday, the heart of the matter. That's what it's about. I'm out. Peace.